have been all my life, in a sense, all my childhood life, I was looking at the big screen. I was looking at the big screen. I was looking frosted it at a drive-in theater and that big screen. I was seeing things that was happening on that big screen that took my imagination from that big screen to the more universal manner that I serve people with now. Because I want everyone to understand that beyond us on this small planet, there's a bigger portion of what we're living in, what we're living with. And it was almost like that light that was shining those films through that lens. All of that stuff was having something to do with my brain as a 5-year-old kid laying up on top of the house, looking at all of this stuff happen. And for me to say, okay. And if you can look at my work, you can see that, but you can see, you can just see me fast forwarding, and I'm just cutting up these. I did a piece called Cutting Up Old Film, because there was so much that was happening for me when I got a chance to do my big pieces that glorified themselves. I think as artists, we find that once we get a chance to bring joy to our own activity, or have joy coming from that, it is totally almost like a religious act. You get what I'm saying? Do more than your grandfather, do more than your father did with a painting, with a sculpture. I mean, I had been to the Smithsonian in the early 80s, but didn't know that I could feel that. It's almost like I didn't have to say yes, mama, no more. I didn't have to say yes to my grandmama no more. I saw what they was trying to guide me to understand. Once you see your sensitivity, once you start dealing with your own sensitivity as an artist, this is something else for you to just sit there and pour out thought after 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 thought. Not too loud. No, I got it. See, the reason why I let my music do the talking. As an artist, I was criticized. And I forgive the critics, because the depths of my understanding they couldn't understand.
I was going to look for it.
You're gonna look at it. But it was a 55-gallon drum that I found one day. It had been buried. And over time, this thing had started rotting. And I saw that everything that it contained at some point, because of it being a rusted piece, could you turn it around maybe and show them where I know, I can dig it. I mean, you can dig it. We can dig it. But this piece kind of taught me, because our grandmothers was preserving things in preserve jars. And the way that they learned to preserve, they did it with such care. But think about people that did it without even considering, from the outside to the inside, something works its way out. I don't care how much you try to contain something. It's best to contain it in glass than to try to contain it in any tinware, any aluminum ware. Anything fabricated, not even any plastic. We are using the wrong thing to try to contain anything that has a combustion about it. The older it gets, the more it's going to swell that is contained in it. And the hotter it gets, the more it's going to swell. And after a while, it's going to pop out. It's going to burst out. And son, this is my son that was asking me those questions. He's Lonnie Holley Jr. And I'm Lonnie Holley Sr. But he was asking me a question about, do I ever figure that my examples have been enough? Are not enough for the prison systems, not enough to empty or keep the hospital beds, even having to be filled. A lot of times, what one would say self-medication, that's on exhibit in Canada. It was just a piece of copper wire bent with a lot of little medical bottles that's inside of his head. And self-medication is our self-motivation. Our self-motivation has got to be done with us learning to appreciate the brain that we have. And what I can do for any human, if I can guide you all to learning that your brain is one of the most important things on this earth right now, that is going to help the animals, all the creatures. It's going to help all of the living conditions. It's going to, if we're going to recondition this planet, it's going to take a little bit more than what mine, and it's not my final words, and it's not going to be your final words, son. And this is the reason why when I did get back in touch with you, and I told you to write about these things, to write your experience. I couldn't write it. So they beat the curiosity out of me every time I tried to even learn about it. If it hadn't been for my art, I would have never been known. I would have been dead and wouldn't have been known. But it was something beyond my grandma that picked me up. Took me to church with her. Even though I was hearing all of the biblical, who we got, and the DNA and I hadn't regrown my brain to print out my brain was so damaged. It was so damaged. And this is the hard part for me. But how can a state of human condition tell anybody that it was all right for a grown man to take his fist and knock an 11-year-old child completely unconscious, and another man come in behind that man, exempling to him that it's all right for him to come in the same day, a few hours later, and take his fist to show the white man, I can hit him just as hard as you hit him. If we're going to be those kind of examples, this is the reason why ever have grown on you has got to come out and be written about. You don't do that to that child. They hit me 3 times and didn't know at 7 years old. But how long did it take after I came conscious? Maybe in my 8th year, I came conscious. Okay, still trying to recoup, redevelop my sense of speech, my sense of thought, my thought controlling my body. I don't even know what kind of therapy and all these other stuff that I had to go through. And I tried to get whoever was working with me at that time to go back because I wanted to thank the doctors. I wanted to thank the nurses. With William Arnett, I just wanted to show appreciation. I still want to say how much I am thankful for the life that I live. I don't want to have to go before nobody's pulpit and because they didn't even allow me testimony time. They didn't allow me that time in church. Because by now, I'm so advanced above them and beyond them because I've been to the Smithsonian and stayed up there 2.5 weeks and went through every gallery and almost every museum. This was paid for by the United States of America. By that time, I have a title from the Lords of London calling me an African American artist. So it was almost like the Lords of London gave me a driving license for my ability to go around the world. Those 13 original colonies, people were seeing my sandstone sculpture, baby being born in time. That definition of that, why and how, all of that went along with me telling them what it was, not only what it were, but it's a lot more come to this besides you seeing this on the wall. Y'all may see this on the wall, but the requirement of this is what's on it. Enamel, you got acrylic, you got oilstick, you got canvas, you got gesso, you got wood, you got nails. In the process of getting to the depths of definition, I had to learn all of that, son. I couldn't write it all. It took somebody that had the experience. So, as a coach, you are a coach. For you to learn one individual, this is more than a black rag. That was my father's sweat rag. That rag belongs to Lonnie Holley Sr. It made it a different type of rag. The canvas, once I put my work on it, it makes it a different kind of canvas. And I'm not telling everybody to come, Elizabeth, I want that one, I want that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Study. And I'm not always talking about the Bible telling us this and the Bible telling us that, but we have to study to make ourselves approve just to be human. And throughout all that studying, through all of that study, I was finding out why I had to keep living. I had to keep living, Lonnie. All that I've done, I'm only trying to do what Dr. King asked us to do. Be the best at what you do. You will see me down this road, gathering my material. You will see me up on the mountain top, telling you that once I start melting, it won't stop. Become so strong. That's the lady there, that man, look at those 3 pieces of driftwood right there. You all may not even want to go there, but and when the mud begins to slide down, the roof began to tumble after. The earth and loosen up. The stars began to slip and slide. The rivers ran muddy. Hey, come on, women now. Somewhere down by the dam, the heaviness of every tree, the damn water. After a while, I am too weak. Began to crack and fall. Maybe some years from now, coming back out some months from now. did a song called Six Space Stars and 144,000. That series that you all hear, I think you all really love it.
Thank you for everything you shared.